Welcome to the Rock Camp Podcast, Rock Camp Podcast, Rock Camp Podcast. With Rock Camp founder David Fishof, music director Britt and radio host Tommy London.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Rock Camp, the podcast. It's been a while, but we're here. We're back. I'm joined by founder and CEO of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, David Fishof, Tommy London of SiriusXM, and I am Britt, the musical director of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. And we're here in the flesh. We are moving to the video platform. We've been away for a while and doing it audio only because David has been traveling in Jerusalem and I've been traveling and Tommy's been, we're all over the place. But we said, screw it. We're just going to do it just like this from wherever we are in the world and bringing it to you. So we are so happy to be here. And I wanted to shout out the Alexander David Bernstein Memorial Fund for musical performance that is sponsoring this podcast. We'll get more into that later, but welcome back, everybody. How have we all been?
Great to be back for another season. We've had some amazing camps, which we'll get into. We'll talk about the Roger Daltrey camp, which is incredible for everybody who was there, including Roger. He blew it out of the ballpark. Tommy Lee camp with John Five. That was incredible. Just a lot going on and setting up new camps. But I wanted to share with you that, I just got back from Seattle. I was asked to speak at the memorial for Bert Bodell, our wonderful camper and bass player and original investor in the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. Sad to hear that he passed away. But it was really a beautiful evening and tribute to him from all these rock stars, from Roger Daltrey, Jack Blades, Sammy Hagar. Everyone sent in a video in his honor, and he was a great man. While I saw Tommy wearing his Yankee hat, I decided to go get my Seattle Seahawks camp because they won the Super Bowl last year, because I had dinner with one of our great campers, John Benton, the offensive line coach of Seattle, especially I'm up in Seattle. So I did a lot of stuff when I was in Seattle. I even went to look for a place to do a camp there because I really want to do a camp, and I met with Kim Dale's manager, and so, a lot been going on, and traveled to New York. My grandson got married, so that was really cool. And came here to Jerusalem, so it's lots been going on.
That's awesome.
Wow, I love it. Tommy, what have you been up to?
I have a new channel to announce. I am now the voice of Bon Jovi Radio every Friday at high noon East on 312 on the dial, Bon Jovi Radio. That's really cool to be working closely with the band since I've always been a fan. I've got some new music on the way with a band that Britt and I have formed that is coming very soon. And I've been busy with the parties I've been putting together at the Viper Room every month, the $5 rock show. I'm trying to change the ways out here, the whole pay-to-play in L.A. Tommy London is in town, and he's throwing the wrench in the works, where the bands get 100% of the door. So they've been taking off really well. I'm proud of that.
Are they staying open? What's the insight on the Viper Room, Tommy?
I don't know. I can't seem to get a direct answer on that. I don't know if anyone really knows. I do know that whole block, they are trying to make, I guess, into condos. And a lot of the people who have businesses on that block have not had their leases renewed, with the exception of the liquor store that's directly above the Viper Room. And I don't know about the liquor store, but the Viper Room is owned by the people who own that block. So I guess they're going to keep those open until they can't. But I don't know. I see stuff online that'll say 6 weeks, and then I'll hear 2 years. I heard, like I said, they haven't gotten the permits, so I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
All I know is that I talked to Tommy Black, and it is going to be open for our fall camp. So that's all that matters. We will be playing there before they close the doors. I know that much.
Yeah.
We've been hearing they've been closing for years, and we're still doing our camps there.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's a good campaign to sell more T-shirts.
Might be right.
Get your Viper Room shirt before there's no more and they close down.
Hey, so what's going on with Britt? I knew she has a lot going on.
Okay, a lot with David Fishof, a lot of talking about upcoming camps. We've been working real hard on a bunch of ideas that we're excited to announce. We've announced 2 so far. We'll get into that later, but we've got more up our sleeves, so very excited about that. I've been playing with Vixen again. Our summer touring has started up. We were just in St. Petersburg, Florida, last weekend, and we've got a lot coming up with our friend Rudy, Quiet Riot. We play a lot with Quiet Riot and Slaughter, and we got shows with Bret Michaels coming up, a festival, Monsters on the Mountain with John Waite and Rick Springfield. That's kind of a different lineup. That's going to be a fun one, 3-day festival there. So keeping busy with that, and I released my new custom signature FU tone guitar. So that's pretty cool. It's like a hot pink cheetah, if you guys haven't seen it, and it's got a kill switch, all the good fun stuff, and also a signature wah pedal, the Lightning Wah made by Morley. That is the first female signature wah put out by that company, and it's being sold right now exclusively on reverb.com, reverb.com/Britt. Just working on all that sort of stuff. And again, working with you, Tommy, our new album that we're going to be releasing our first single soon, music video.
Very soon. And the video. Wait until you see this video. David, this video is
cool.
And the song. Amazing. Yeah.
What's the name of the song?
Should we announce the name of the song?
Sure. Exclusive release.
Exclusive.
Yeah,
we haven't
what is
announced the band name yet, but we'll tell you the song. The song's called Above the Noise.
Well, if David likes it, that means.
Oh, love that name. We have to give Shep Gordon a little. We have to give him a little credit on that. That would be really cool. Remember, Britt? That was
he was saying, send cookies, do something to get above everything else.
Above the noise. That'd be great if he gives you a shout out too.
Hey, I like it.
It would be good.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Then maybe Alice Cooper can give you a shout out, and then this one can give you a shout out. Anyone associated with it, but I love that. I love the title, Above the Noise. That's the key. That's the key to success.
And you heard it here first.
Yeah, that's the key to success.
Yeah.
But speaking of writing, man, we have so many incredible campers that have sent in songs lately and that have been doing things with their music and getting on playlists and getting in jams. I had that group, Chad Mund and Adam Elahi and Josh Fritz, those guys all sending me photos last weekend. They all flew in and did a jam together, all wearing the Rock Camp shirts, and just, it's pretty amazing.
And what about, Monty Pittman? He wrote a song with our friends Three Cant. Beautiful song. And then all the kid bands that are writing songs has been incredible. It's been really amazing, the collaboration between, once the bands come to camp, they stay together. Tommy, we talked about promoting their music here on the podcast. So we're going to have more information. So everybody listen to the podcast, because we're going to not only interview you, but we're going to be able to promote your songs, your music to our 100,000 listeners. So that should be really cool.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for sure. And I think it's so cool that these bands stay together, and that's not easy. But with modern technology, I guess, how we're doing this with the Zooms and stuff. But I just think that's so cool that I love witnessing it. These especially the younger bands, when they come together and they want to stay together, they found their own, and they felt a chemistry that they didn't know they had until they walked into that room to jam with their band. I just think that's so cool.
Tommy, during COVID, Britt and I were looking into running the camp. We're figuring out, how can we do rock camps with you do them virtually, where you can have people go into the rooms and things like that. And it was always the latency was the issue, but I think they've gone past that now. I think that now, it's a lot easier to record songs and be current. The timing just works, and people can stay together. They can record parts. COVID was quite interesting for our industry. Eddie Kramer told me he was recording bands, and they were going to studios, and he was in Toronto, and he was able to produce, records. And our other friend, Mike Klink, he did the same thing. So COVID really, changed a lot of things, but it added a lot of technology to our industry.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We should share some of those clips from our online masterclasses that we did during COVID. Speaking of Roger, we could share some of those clips.
I tell you, we're going to be sharing a lot of them. We had a great conversation this week with Pantheon. We're excited about all the new opportunities, about bringing on a couple of producers, and we're going to really build a podcast. And we're going to give away prizes, and we have posters and memorabilia.
We're going to be doing trivia games.
Games, and you're gonna start using the app. Let's talk about the app, Britt.
We got an app that was developed by Mia and Brian. Shout out to those guys. And the app is
Brian
actually
Albert.
Active in the App Store now, but we haven't rolled it out to all the campers yet. But once we do have live camps, you'll be able to use that at the camps to check the updated schedules and to communicate with other campers. It'll be really interactive, so we're excited about that.
And let's talk about these upcoming camps. I mean, if we're going to save all the good stuff of Roger Daltrey for the next camp, and I know we're going to do that, but all his things. But let's talk about the women's camp, because the women's camp is quite exciting. Britt, let's talk about it, because every day we're getting new people want to be on it.
Yes, we initially just announced the women's camp, which is going to be taking place November 5 to 8 in Los Angeles. We got Belinda Carlisle of the Go-Go's. We've been wanting her for a while. She doesn't do that much. She's a little exclusive, so we're thrilled to get her, along with Kathy Valentine of the Go-Go's, who is awesome. She did our first women's camp. Kathy is incredible. All of these women here, first of all, I just want to say, have been doing this and been in the music industry since their early teens, and just like the Go-Go's, they started young and they're just still still doing it. And same with Cherie Currie of the Runaways. We've got Kate Pearson of the B-52s. Never had Kate before. It's going to be very exciting. And Cherie is going to play with everybody at the Whiskey, jam with them at the Whiskey. And then we have a songwriting component to this camp. So if you do not want to play in a band, you can come for the songwriting. And we're going to have songwriting mentors. We've got Beth Nielsen Chapman, who's a hit songwriter. And then we've got Autumn Rowe, who's going to be mentoring a lot of the songwriters as well. And then we just got an email the other day. Lisa Loeb wants to join. So Lisa Loeb is going to be doing some songwriting master classes.
That's so cool.
And we're going to be working with her. Yeah, very cool. I mean, this camp is going to be incredible. It's our 4th annual one. And I have to say, like, all the camps are amazing, but the women's ones are always my favorite because it's just, it gets a little more intimate. It gets a little more emotional. It goes a little like deeper with the Q&As and things like that. It's kind of just like a safe space for every woman to talk about everything in the business. And, you know, it's still a male-dominated industry. Women go through different experiences than men do. It's just the bottom line. And then just talking about it and navigating the whole landscape of it all. I mean, when we had Lizzie Hale and Winona Judd, I mean, it was such an emotional Q&A with both of them. I'll never forget that. It gives me chills just thinking about it. So I'm super excited. That camp is really going to rock.
You know, Linda Perry, when she came to camp, she was explaining to us about her organization that we're a nonprofit. And I'm hoping we're going to do a camp with them one day. But she has a nonprofit of trying to get more women into industry jobs in the music industry. She has a charity for it. But I'm also noticing a lot more women joining bands now, like Alice Cooper. He has Nita Strauss and he has another young lady, but I'm finding more women. Even so, a lot of these bands are adding women to the touring packages and their touring bands. There's a lot more opportunities now. We talked about the camper who's in the Leah Bluestone, who came to Rock Camp.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. Oh, she's got so good. She's incredible. She's got millions of hits on her videos and stuff like that too. She's playing for Eagles of Death Metal now. Yeah, Rudy kind of helped mentor her and give her the confidence, and she gained a lot of confidence at the camp, and she's crushing it out there. We just saw them play at the wedding. Jesse got married.
Oh, really?
And they jammed at their wedding, and boy, she killed it.
Wow, and I'm so glad we honored her last year at our Hall of Fame event.
And she actually got up and jammed at one of our last. We had the
jam. Camp, right?
Yeah. It was cool. She came to support and jumped up there for a song.
Wow. Okay, so then we have a camp in New York, and I'm excited about that because I think the people who attended the Roger Daltrey camp were blown away, not only by Roger, but by Simon Townshend. I mean, how much he jammed that weekend. And when he was playing the lick from Pinball Wizard, and I remember Roger called me the first day, do you know how hard Simon's working? His hands are bleeding. I said, well, you know, he does. He thought I was overworking him. Meanwhile, Simon had the greatest experience ever, and he's coming back to Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp because so many people wanted to come to that camp, and then we had to move it, and financially it was an expensive camp. But now you're going to be able to play Who music with Simon. You know, he's done a lot of camps for us lately, but you got to give it up to Liberty DeVitto. He's all over that documentary on Billy Joel. It was nice to see Billy Joel the other night. He went to Long Island, has their own Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they honored my dear friend, Dennis Arfa, who's Billy's agent. They went to high school together. And they honored him, and Billy came. And it was really nice. I just wrote to Dennis today, and he wrote back. I said, you are the GOAT of the music agency business. There's one guy in this business is Dennis Arfa. There's no better agent. I don't care what anyone says from all the big music agencies. He's the number one smartest agent who has kept Billy Joel selling out over 100 nights at Madison Square Garden, Yankee Stadium. Billy hasn't had a hit in years. I'm telling you that his success is a lot have to do with Dennis. The way Dennis marketed and let me tell you a story Dennis shared with me years ago. Billy, he would go into Pittsburgh, and he also only toured him in the winter so that he didn't have competition with all the dollars that go out in the summer. So that was Dennis. Dennis then came and said, David, you know, I would put up one show in Pittsburgh, and we would sell it out in a second. And then I was able to add and add and add because the buzz from not getting a ticket. And he says, if I would have just put up 3 shows, I would have sold 3 shows out. We ended up doing 10 nights in Pittsburgh because we created a buzz. He was always in the buzz. When I was let him give you a full page ad in the New York Times, and we landed up selling 8 shows. I mean, these agents, a good agent, really a smart agent, can make the difference in a talent's career. And so I'm excited about doing the Billy Joel music, the incredible Liberty DeVitto, who's married to my former assistant, Anna.
Hey, side
So,
note,
yeah.
while we're on the topic of Billy Joel, not too long ago, I don't know if you're aware, the New York Times put a list of the greatest living American songwriters of all time, and Billy did not make the list. Do you believe that? Billy Joel not
Well,
on the list for the greatest American
Fire
song
that guy.
living.
Fire that guy.
Tommy, when you told me that the other day, you know what I said? The New York Times, because I don't know. I stopped reading that stupid paper. Their politics are terrible. They're not what they were. I hate to
No,
say it.
not at all.
They are not what they were.
We should make
You
a
know,
list of the worst living newspapers of all time, and we'll put the New York Times at the top of that list.
absolutely. I don't know who reads the New York Times anymore, but it used to be the paper. We all got it. Remember, we went to school and they would teach you how to read the New York Times. I wouldn't read
Yeah.
that rag now at one bit. They make up stuff. It's terrible. They're
It should be
terrible.
it's the National Enquirer now. I mean, this
Yeah.
is their big headline. Their greatest list of American singers. Why don't you report some real news for once instead of this bullshit?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Billy
Yeah.
Joel
And
and Fogerty not on the list, by the way. Side note: John Fogerty not on the
right.
list.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
Nuts.
ridiculous. Anyhow, check
Yeah.
out that list when you can, and you'll see who did make the list, and you'll be shocked.
And
And a
but
few
we
of
are
them.
excited. But we're going back to that camp. I'm excited about the Kinks. Getting a
Oh.
lot of, that's going to be exciting. Dave
Of
Davies.
course.
What's your favorite song, Tommy? What was your favorite Kinks song?
I mean, there's so many that I dig. I love Destroyer. I've always loved that one. Yeah, I mean, I remember like hearing the Kinks for the first time. It was on some compilation tape that I had, and I was like, "Whoa, who are these guys?" And then, of course, when I heard Van Halen amp up that "You Really Got Me," I was like, "Oh, that's those guys." It
Mhm.
was pretty wild.
Yeah. My all-time favorite is the band. I love the band. I love Levon Helm. I love Rick Danko. I had the honor to manage him for a few years. I had the honor that they thanked me at their induction of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, he was a band that I didn't know much about until I met Levon on tour, and then we got close, and he passed away. But we got his daughter Amy, who's really kept up his legacy. Levon had this dream that he wanted to do concerts out of his home, the barn up in Woodstock. He said to me, David, now you come up here, see what we're doing in the barn. And that's what he thought. And Levon would, he had a recording studio. He loved the sound. He'd record albums. He'd have artists come and record somehow the sound off the wood in the barn. And he built it up there. And then they built it up as a concert place where people would come and they do concerts there. 200 people, $200 a ticket. And I'm going to tell you, they would sell that thing. That would be the hottest ticket. And then artists would come up there. You know, the artists actually used to come up there. They didn't want to get paid. They just wanted to play with Levon. It was incredible. I mean, the lead singer of AC/DC, I remember he showed up. Roger Daltrey, I know Roger was scheduled to go up there, but I know so many people that would have just done anything to perform at the barn. And our good friend, Jimmy Vivino, I mean, he performed there a lot with Levon, and we should have him on, talk a little bit about the barn. But Amy's kept it going, the concerts, and she kept her legacy of her father. So that's going to be a great camp. You're going to be able to do band tunes. You're going to be able to do Billy Joel tunes. You're going to be able to do Kinks, and of course, festive in all the great Who songs with Simon Townsend.
And
Wow.
this is the
Yep.
first time it's in New York in 2 years, right? Would that be accurate?
Yeah,
Right?
it could be. Yeah, it could be. We haven't. Yeah. Wasn't there this past summer, the summer before? And no. This is that's 2 years, and we have a great studio there, and I love that room, the cutting room. So you're going to do two shows, one night with Simon Townsend, and then one night you're going to be doing the Billy Joel songs with Liberty DeVitto. So that camp is going to be unbelievable, and I'm excited about it because that's my music. I love that. Well, we got to talk about. We're working on a great metal camp coming up. Hopefully, we're going to go to Seattle this year.
Grunge in Seattle.
Grunge in
I'm looking forward to
Seattle.
that one. Yeah, very
That
cool.
should be a lot of fun. We got a surprise guitar camp coming up. So we got a lot of things under our belt. We're excited about this year. And I think we're all having fun too, right? We're all doing new things. I can talk a little bit about the movie. The movie is really starting to do really well in the sense that we brought on one of the number one publicists in the business. Kevin Britt he's doing interviews now this whole week in New York. He's here in town for the Knicks series. And we're going to release it globally on October 7th, all around the world. So we'll have more details coming up soon, but excited about it. Excited about the film to get its day.
That's great. I want to remind the listeners who are tuned in, You will always find the exclusives here on the podcast first. So make sure you favorite if you haven't already, and maybe share it with your friends who are into the rock camp or would like to get into the rock camp. We always break out the news here first. So we would love for you to hear it first. So make sure you subscribe to Rock Camp, the podcast.
If you have any questions, you want to hear a topic talked about on the podcast, email us. And if you want your music featured, maybe you want to come on and talk about what you've been working on, your upcoming projects, you can email us at taylor@rockcamp.com. TAYLOR at rockcamp.com, and we'll get you featured.
I also have to say we got such a great response. As many of you listeners out there wanted to come and help us, and we're going to create a street team soon. So stay tuned.
David, I'm reading about these blue dots with ticket sales, and I'm not too clear as to what that's all about. Have you heard anything about this?
Absolutely. You know, I'm a ticket guy. So now, because the venues are showing where you can buy your seats and you can click the two blue dots and you got your seats secure. The latest thing has been the blue dots, the crisis of blue dots, that many people are canceling their tours because, like the Pussycat Dolls, they canceled their tour. Too many blue dots, too many seats available. And the price of tickets has gone high. And the latest thing about the Live Nation Ticketmaster lawsuit. We still haven't seen what's going to happen with that. You know, there's going to be appeals, and I think a lot of stuff came out about that. But the new terminology in the business has been the blue dots.
But my question is, we've always, for years, been able to select your seats and see which ones were taken. So why now are the blue dots an issue? Just because less people are attending concerts and buying concert tickets?
I think more people are buying concert tickets. It's just there's so many artists out there. There's a lot of traffic. And so not all these artists are doing the business. So it's come up a lot now. The agents are making big guarantees, and the ticket sales not selling, and tickets aren't selling. So the ticket prices just got out of control.
Out of hand. And you know what? I have to say, Tommy and I went to a comedy show recently, and they locked the phones up in the little bags. I do, and I know some concerts do that, but I think that is great because I feel like a lot of people are just getting lazy. And why go out to a concert, spend money on the parking, spend money on gas to get there, spend money, $12 for a beer, and then hundreds of dollars for the concert ticket when I can watch the whole thing on YouTube. I feel like so many artists recently have been speaking out again about the fact that they hate those front row people with their cameras up. They're not even watching the show. They're really just focused on getting the best video. They're watching it through their little screen when they're right there. But I feel like if there was less of that content going viral just on the social media and on YouTube, that people probably would buy tickets because they can't see it anywhere else.
You know, Billy Joel never did television. He never would play a song on television because he always felt that you should come to the venue to see it. The first time I saw him do it was a CBS concert that he did right now at the end of his career. But, you know, you're right. I think the ticket prices, the costs, it's gone so sky high. You know, you think you could charge more. I remember when I was doing a lot of touring, you just keep not realizing that you keep raising the tickets by raising the guarantees. It'll be interesting summer this year. See what happens. The big ones are going to always do the big ones. You know, you're going to still the big acts are going to do very well. But a lot of these acts that are the vintage acts are definitely going to have problems, and as well as a lot of artists who only have one hit or two hits. They think they're going to fill out an arena. That's not going to happen either.
But it all goes up. So it's like, oh, you raised your ticket? Oh, then I'm going to raise the parking because that's a separate owner. Whoever owns the land doesn't necessarily own the venue. But now it's like $50 to park in the lot. And now that $10 beer, which we still thought was crazy, or $12 beer, is now $20 a beer, right? And then to get the burger or pretzel with it is another $10. I mean, look, before the concert ticket, you've already spent $200 before you walked in the door. And then there's the concert ticket. So it's almost like $1,000 night out. You know what's funny? I'll find I have a lot of my old concert tickets. So I'll find a concert ticket from when I went to a concert back in like the 90s or whatever. And when you do inflation, it still isn't accurate. So what are they adding on? Because the inflation number doesn't add up with the numbers. The math doesn't work. It's all these fees, these Live Nation fees. Like there's a fee just for a fee. I would love someone to see where these fees go. You know.
Well, Tommy, here's the irony: was for years, every time I toured a show up in Canada with a specific promoter, there would always be a county tax. They'd always deduct the county tax, and I always had even my accountants. I had these music accountants on the road, and with the county tax. You know, they turned out that the promoter just made this tax up. He made it up. He put an extra 10% of the gross in his pocket. And, till some guy questioned it once, but, because they would tell you in advance, these are the deductions, and there's going to be a special Canadian county tax. And you always thought that was good, So no
Yeah.
one knows if the promoter was paying it, and
Well,
they caught him.
what about
I
like
think
even just the stub hubs? How they're owned by like if I'm correct, they're owned by Live Nation. So it's like I sell
they're
the
owned by
ticket to
Ticketmaster. Yeah.
myself to sell it more to you. It's just crazy.
If you want to talk ticket prices, let's go to the other side. You've been seeing what's going on with the Knicks in the championship game, and the cheapest ticket to Game 4 will be $9,000, and you're going to sit in the
Wow.
rafters.
But
In
that's
the
Whoa.
somebody.
rafters.
But wait a minute, that's somebody selling it like me or you. That's not that's not through like a StubHub, is it? Is that where they're
Well,
maybe? I don't know.
let's just talk about who can afford to go to
No, that's
what Knicks fan could go to a game and spend $9,000 a ticket. I mean, that's crazy.
for the
What's going
nosebleed.
on? Yeah, for the nosebleed. I mean, Britt and I, we have a friend of ours who spent $50,000 a ticket, and for him and his wife, it's $100,000 a game. I mean, it's crazy the numbers that people are shelling out.
Let me
So,
ask you this, David, with this whole blue dot thing. And by the way, when I first heard the term blue dot or heard about this, I thought people putting blue dots on their faces. That's the old school. When you put a blue
right,
dot.
right.
Could this work out in the fans' favor if these artists are canceling the tours? If you're a fan, of course, that sucks because maybe if you're a fan of Pussycat Dolls, that's kind of disappointing that they canceled their tour. But for whatever artist or band, if the blue dot thing keeps going and they're canceling these shows, something will have to be done because that means Live Nation is losing money as well. Everyone's losing money on these tours canceling. So will this bring the ticket price down? Would be the big question, I guess.
Or what they'll do is they'll focus on the tickets that are hot, like the Eagles, or the higher
Right.
price tickets, and not care about developing artists and taking a lower ticket price and just to get more fans at the door. So the industry has a lot going on. And then also in the news is AI. I mean, Britt, you've talked about this lawsuit before about Sunos.
Yeah, the major
The
label suing Suno because, yeah, I mean, it is crazy. And I have to say, I was just on Spotify looking at the Vixen playlist the other day, and the first thing that came up, it said that there was this new artist, and they somehow got on our Vixen page, and it was an AI band calling themselves Vixen, and somehow they latched on, and it was just an AI song, AI artwork, not real people. You could obviously tell. And it's just crazy because they're cranking them out and putting them on playlists, and it's taking away spots for the real artists. But also they're talking about the copyright infringement from the artists that created these sounds that AI is pulling from. So I don't know. I mean, and it's crazy because people that are just listening to Spotify playlists, I think if you're not a musician, it can be hard to tell the difference if it's a real band or not. To me, it's like very obvious, but it's getting better and better too. So it's fooling people into thinking these are real people. But then some people don't care if they're real artists or not. And look at what's going on in Japan. The biggest stars are holograms. They're not even real people. I don't know what to think about
Well,
that.
there should be a law that lets you know, hey, this is AI, a code even on the music. So when it's submitted, that code will alert a Spotify or whoever that this is AI. Or if they're doing a hologram group or whatever, that this is AI. And it's okay if it's AI. It's okay if you choose to listen and be a fan. But I think the awareness should be, hey, just so you know, this is AI. This is Vixen AI, which also legally they shouldn't be allowed to use that name. That's a lawsuit in its
Yeah,
own
well,
right.
they're going after. Yeah, they're getting it removed. But like also when we were fans of bands, we wanted to be a part of that band. Like if you were into Led Zeppelin, you were like obsessed with each individual member, wanted to know everything about them, like grasp at any little news thing, like, oh, Jimmy Page he did what with Black Magic, whatever, all these like things about the artist that drew you more into the music. And so with the AI, you don't have any of that. I don't get why you would want to support that because it's like a dead end for you. There's no more that you can get. It's not like you can absorb their culture and their influence. It's just a robot.
Well, you get AI girlfriend now, an AI boyfriend.
I
It's
know.
a little crazy. But, I think we saw it the other day when we had a conversation with our folks at Pantheon. The industry is just moving so fast. It's moving so fast. So here we were doing a podcast a year ago, had one look. And now we're going to have a new podcast, and it's going to have a different look. And everything, people are fickle and what they want now and what they expect. It's been so interesting. And even in these concerts, I mean, you're talking about these artists going out now. Half of them, I'd say 3/4 of these classic rock acts, they're using tapes in the background. They're using musicians in the background. But I think if they're delivering the hits, it's okay. As long as people are walking away satisfied. But everyone is using just to get one step ahead. A lot of news. We're going to have a lot of news to talk about this coming year. We're going to pay attention to a lot of news and just because we'd love to give a lot of information to our listeners and our campers, what they should be expecting and what to do. And that's what the podcast is about, behind the scenes at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp.
Hey, one last news item. How about that lineup for the 250th anniversary celebration of the United States and all the controversy with the people playing the event, pulling out? It's like they got mad at poor Bret Michaels. I feel so bad for the guy. He's just trying to do his job, make a living, play music for his fans. He signs on to this event. He gets shit for signing on to it. Then he pulls out. He gets shit for pulling out. I mean, what do you guys think about all that?
I can't stand when these artists pull politics into their music. And I never saw our world as divided as it is now. Politically, just everything. The world is just so divided. It's social media. It's part of social media. The division of what's happening in the world today is just outlandish.
Too, like you said, Tommy and I talk about this a lot. Like if you look up one thing that has to do with one side or the other or one opinion on any subject, then your social media will only feed you more of that side. So you never actually get to see anything from the other side. These algorithms, you do one search term and then that's all you see. So you kind of get blocked from everything else. Not to mention you don't know what the heck is true and what is made up.
You definitely know. I mean,
let's just break it down. I live in a world where there are two major news organizations and one is for each side. That is not how you report news. I want the truth. I don't want your opinion, and I don't want your opinion. I want the truth. And social media has done this too. It is filling people's brains with certain things, and a lot of it's fake news. And this is on both sides. I'm not playing this one or that one or red or blue.
Right.
I'm an independent thinker, and I think outside the box. I look outside the box, and I look at everything. If a certain leader says the sky is blue, I'm not going to say it's not blue. Right? It is blue.
Right.
All right? I don't have to like you, but you're right. The sky is blue. It's just out of control, and honestly, I have to separate myself from, push away, and live life. But on a side note, with this 250th concert that got scratched, I mean, out of everyone who pulled out, I have to be honest, I was shocked that Milli Vanilli pulled out because as far as I know, they haven't had a gig in like 40 years. And they're the one group that probably should have stayed. Milli Vanilli's canceling. This is some serious shit.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
It's hilarious.
Exactly.
And you know what's even crazier? Milli Vanilli got canceled because they didn't sing on their records. And we live in a society now. And a side note, remember who was the girl on Saturday Night Live? It was the sister, Ashley. What was her name? And the record skipped on her something when she was on Saturday Night Live.
Ashley Simpson.
Ashley Simpson. Okay. Here's another one. She was lip syncing. We live in a world now where these artists tour and lip sync and we accept it. We live in a world now where you can go on TikTok and lip sync and it's fun. And that's what they do. They even lip sync movie dialogue. Like it's just out of control. And these guys and girl, they all got ridiculed and lost their careers over it. And now careers are built upon it. The irony is just unbelievable.
Okay, so I want to leave you. I'm here in Jerusalem, and I have a wonderful guy here who really comes to help me out once a week, and he does our house. And so he was telling me that his father he went to jail years ago because he was a bookie. He's a bookie, football games. Meanwhile, it's betting all now. It's FanDuel. The only difference is it's owned by the NFL owners.
Right. Yeah.
And the casinos. He says, he says it's really unfair. My father went to jail for being a bookie. And today, the teams are doing it. Life's changing. Life's moving.
It's crazy. I have a friend who's a bookie. He's out of business because of these apps and all sorts of shit. Times are changing when the bookies are looking for a gig.
Exactly.
Wow.
All right.
Great catch up.
Yeah. Who's this episode sponsored by?
Okay, so this episode, once again, is sponsored by the Alexander David Bernstein Memorial Fund for Musical Performance. And I would like to say that the Rock Camp Alumni Foundation, which was created by our alumni campers to sponsor people that are otherwise unable to attend Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, but very deserving of attending. We have a scholarship in the name of Alexander David Bernstein. So if you want to apply, you can go and visit the Rock Camp alumni page, which is rockcampalumni.org. There's a form where you can fill out to submit an application for a scholarship to be considered for that award. And there's also other scholarships that you can find on that website as well. So big shout out to, again, the Alexander David Bernstein Memorial Fund for Musical Performance. Their mission is amazing. It's to support and encourage kids on their musical journey, and also to support their emotional health and help foster amazing relationships that you can make through music, and to have a healthy lifestyle. You can check more out on that. And a big thanks to Mark Bernstein, who is heading that fund. And we will see you all next time at the next episode. We're going to be doing these podcasts weekly, so be sure to tune in weekly. We're going to stay on schedule. We're not going to miss it no matter where we are in the world. We're going to have a lot of great content for you, a lot of new guests, and a lot of content from the camps and Q&As and other events that we've put on. So we'll be sharing more of that with you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Rock Camp Podcast, Rock Camp Podcast, Rock Camp Podcast.